Evening, folks. How the hell are you? Bloody hell. Yeah, you're thinking, Christ almighty, what's he doing? He's normally going to his bed at this time, and you'd be absolutely right. But yeah, how warm is it? Now, I do like the sun. I really do. Though I've kind of changed over to the Daily Mirror. Sorry, that was a shit joke. Yeah, I do like the sun, but oh, bloody hell, tonight or today has just been. Whew. I don't think I've actually known it to be quite as warm as it is at the moment. Um, I mean, what time would it be? About 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock this afternoon. Now, bear in mind, this is Scotland. I know you Englishers get it warm all the time. Of course, you can, Mark. If you can fire on, if you want to ask a question, you crack on. Yeah, it was. I jumped in the car and it was showing 30 and a half degrees, which is insane. When I started driving, it dropped to kind of 26, but it's just mental warm. And Ava's not a fan of the heat. She kind of likes the dark and all that kind of stuff. But one thing that I said to her was, I says, with the nice, with the lighter nights and decent weather, um, you can get out. So I'm just going to quickly. I know a few people are on my Facebook thing. Let me have a quick look. Let me just share my PC if I can find it. Hang on a second. A minute, just make sure there's nothing. Yeah, there we go. Right, I'm just going to quickly share. We went to, what did we do? We went to Starbucks, and then we went to a place called South Queensferry. Now, if you don't know where South Queensferry is, it's where the River Forth is, and for some weird reason, there was a vid of you a few years ago wearing a dressing gown. What the hell was that? Wearing a dressing gown? Now, wait a minute, Mark. You need to remember I'm old. Um, I had a dressing gown on. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I've done videos when I just get back from the gym and I'm like all sweaty and had my vest on and all that kind of stuff. You'll need to tell me what it was. Does anybody else remember that one? That might have been one of my OnlyFans. So yeah, possibly Mark, you're a fan of that. That's possibly an OnlyFans picture you're thinking about. I can't remember. Can't remember what you're talking about. But if anyone else remembers, please share. Um, yeah. Anyway, there we go. Wait a minute. We went to South Queensferry and we took some nice pictures. There we go. That's a lovely picture. That's Eva. Um, yeah, that was. I mean, what time was that? That was about 7:30 tonight, 7 o'clock. How nice is that? That's iconic. And what makes South Queensferry quite original is you've got the fourth bridge. What that is? That's the fourth bridge. That is obviously where trains go over. My friend, well, I'll wait to get a different picture. Um, I've got absolutely no agenda for this, by the way. So just yeah, that was the fourth. That was the fourth bridge. Now, if you let me just zoom in a wee bit. God, we need to keep clicking in. This one here, this one that goes along there, that is the fourth road bridge. That was built maybe the 70s, I think, but they had concerns. That's actually two bridges, by the way. That there is another bridge. That's called the Queensferry Crossing. It looks like one bridge, but it's not. This one here that goes up like that. If you ever watched Blue Peter back in the day, they used to climb up. You can actually climb up that. You can walk up that thing, up that kind of pipe thing. Bollocks to that. But yeah, so you've got the fourth bridge, which is where the trains go. That was built, I don't know, the 18 something, and no, I wasn't around when it was open. Uh, this one is the fourth road bridge. Now that is now been it's been closed to traffic. I think taxis can use it, and then at the back you've got the Queensferry crossing, which is what we all use. So yeah, just it's beautiful. The funny thing is, one of my sisters, I think it was her friend or I don't know, a daughter or something. She she said, "Oh, I wouldn't fancy being on the train because you would get a bit seasick." She thought that the train went up and down like a roller coaster. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I've still got these zoomed in. Bollocks. There we go. That's better. That's better. I did think that looked a bit rubbish. Yeah. I mean, that was 8 o'clock tonight. How gorgeous is that? Yeah, you can see the Queensferry Crossing Bridge in the background. And some little birds having their bath. And there's Ava. And you can actually see the bridge there as well. Yeah, this girl thought that the trains went like that. Woof. Yeah, there we go. Right. Anyway, let's oh, hide that. Right, and webcam again. Yeah. So I've not really got anything to talk about. If there's any questions, fire in. I do apologise about the complete lack of any notice. I was going to do a live waffle and I thought to myself, you know what? It's so warm. I need to get out and do something. It's, shouldn't just be sitting in on the computer. So went out and then I thought, you know what? It's a Friday night. Still got time to do something. It's not going to be particularly long. It's going to be about an hour tops. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick look and see if we have got any uh, any questions. I know there's a few questions from a couple of weeks ago. There's a Friday Waffle live. Oh, I don't know who this suspecting looking odd person. Oh, you can't even see that. There we go. Yeah, I don't know who this bloke is. This dodgy looking guy down there. Right, let me have a look. In fact, I don't need to share the screen. You don't need to see what I'm doing. Right, let me have a look for some questions. I'm conscious I've not answered any for a wee while. So yeah, and we've got a surprise for Steve. I messaged him about 10 minutes ago and said, "Are you going to be are you about?" And he went, "Yep." I goes, "You might want to watch the Friday Waffle." Don't get too excited, Steve, but just moderately excited. Right, let's have a look. Questions. Right, we've got one from the legend that is Milthy Swinbuckle. Does Milthy ever watch live streams? Hmm, I think he may. Right, now I'm going to apologise now because some of Milthy's questions can be slightly curveball, left field. They're all relating to baseball. Yeah, and sometimes it's impossible to actually answer them without kind of, why does that keep focusing and then not focusing? But we'll give it a go. Hi, Main Meister. Quick waffle question. My arse, quick one. Look at the size of it. Right, this one is a little bit of a riff on the nice and nasty. Apologise, by the way, about the lack of nice and nasties. If I'm being brutally honest, I'm a bit disappointed because I really enjoy doing the nice and nasties. I think they're good fun. You're kind of getting two for one. You're getting like a blimey, it's only, and then you're getting the nice and nasty kind of part of it as well. Um, and yeah, to do a nice and nasty, you need somebody to talk to, and I've lost count the number of people that have agreed to do the podcast and you tell them like, yep, you tell them what the gist of the thing is, and then they'll say, yep, I'll say, look, let me know when you're free. Yep, will do, and then you hear nothing more. So and I can't be arsed chasing people. So I think there's probably over 10 people that have agreed to do it, but just never actually come back to me. So if you're one of these people and you want to do it, then hit me up. Right, but just a quick, well, it may come to something. I may be appearing in a new podcast with somebody. That's all I'm going to say. It's hopefully going to be either 2 weekly or monthly. I can't say who it's going to be with. In fact, it's not even going to be my podcast. But we've been talking about things. So hopefully that'll come to something because I do like a podcast. I think there's something really nice about just the sort of the purity and simpleness of a podcast rather than having to fanny about with playing games and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, hi Main Meister, quick Friday Waffle. This one's a little bit of rough and nice and nasty, blah 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 blah. Question: you're given these choices to make up your perfect week. Okay, let me just think about that perfect week. What do you choose? This is actually really good. Well, the first bit is one film to watch over your perfect week. I think Dale knows what the answer is going to be. Um, it's going to be. It depends what mood I'm in. It's going to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because that's my favourite film, bar none. One music concert to go to in your perfect week. Band or singer could be dead, but you can still by magic go to see them. That's excellent. Who would I see? It would have to be. Can I get to sit in the front row? It would have to be Elvis, the King. Yeah, there he's there. The main man. There he's there. I'll keep your head out the road. Long live the King. Yeah, Elvis Presley. So planes, trains, and automobiles. Um, Elvis Presley. One night on the lash with your mates. Where do you go and which mates do you go and get drunk with? Right, obviously I would go with all you guys because you are all my mates as well. That's a given. But if it's mates that I've met that I know through going to school, it would be Grant, Gavin, Don, Andy. God, I better not miss out anybody. Um, Tommy, and who else? That would probably be it. Yeah, there's a few others. But yeah, but obviously you would take precedence, absolutely. One comedian, live or dead. Oh, Billy Connolly, 100% Billy Connolly. One romantic. Oh, I thought you were. One romantic night out to take your girlfriend. I thought you were going to ask me to choose. Bloody hell. Yeah, I would. I don't think Lee watches. Nah, she doesn't watch my videos, so I could say anything I want. Where do we go? It would have to be. It would be the Elvis gig. Yeah, it'd be the Elvis gig. But we would go for a nice steak dinner. Miller and Carter, even though it's completely overpriced. Um, One day playing a game system. Which system? And let's see what 5 games do you choose. It's going to have to be the Commodore 64. 5 games. This is a fantastic question. This is one of my favourite questions for a long, long time. 5 games. It's going to be Super. Hang on, what am I talking about? Super Pipeline 1 and 2. It's going to be Whizball. Um, it's going to be Beam Rider, and it's going to be Manic Mine on the Spectrum. Yeah, one day you can do anything you want, not mentioned above, anything at all you want, and as much over the top. What do you choose to do? I would go to Japan and Tokyo and yeah, just the Middle East and spend a bit of time. Yeah, that's a fantastic series of questions, Milty. Brilliant. Love them. Really, really nice. Um, okay, right. I don't know if Colin Jones, I don't think Colin's in tonight. Nice to see car video, blah blah blah. Is he asking me a question? I don't. Is he asking me a question? That's one way to. Right. No, he's not asking me a question. Right, Bob. Wee Bob, how you doing, Bob? All the best, Alan. Hope the phone call was okay. Yeah, sorry for last week. I had to take a phone call. It was an urgent phone call. Had to take it. It wasn't a particularly nice phone call, but I had to take it nevertheless. There's no question. There are a few questions that go back a wee bit. Um, Lord, let's have a look. Lord, Lord Evil, Lord Evil, 8317. Drop Zone was better. What is this? Oh, this was. Oh, this is sorry. I'm looking at. I'm just looking at. I'm in the YouTube studio thing, and I'm in community, and you've got all the questions. And of course, this is a question that was on a video that I made about 5 years ago. I called it six great games which I prefer on Atari, and one of them was Drop Zone. Yeah, absolutely. Michelle is asking, hi Michelle, how you doing? I've not seen you for ages. I asked Al, oh, I'm sorry. See, this is why I hate AI, because I get called Al by lots of people. I actually prefer being called Al rather than Alan, because Alan is a completely lame name. It really is. Alan. It's up there with Richard and sorry, Colin. Yeah, it's a lame name, so I prefer Al. Um, but the problem is AI looks the same as Al. So if you read this one way, I asked Al, and this is what it said. So what Michelle, I'm assuming what Michelle means here is I asked AI, and this is what it said. Oh yeah, I was talking about. Yeah, I was feeling really bloated. Yeah, I was out running twice this week, and just even though I never had anything to eat, I deliberately didn't have anything to eat, and I still felt utterly bloated. Um, I don't know where it's. I don't know whether it's possibly asthma. I mean, I've been tested for so many things, and nothing's made anything. Nothing's worked. Don't know. Anyway, right. Let's get back to Friday Waffle. There's somebody there just watched my Martin Brown, remembering Martin Brown. I didn't know this. Another one gone. Shame. Yeah, absolutely. Uh, right, there's one from I don't know who this is. A guy called Delboy. Um, Clint Thrust. That's definitely a name for a certain type of film, I think, Nick. Right, Dell is asking, question, you completed Fort Apocalypse. It's a great game and most people play on settings pre-applied by the programmer. Um, Now you finished it, have you tried it on the harder level? And do you have any other games you've played that you prefer to have at the higher levels as they improve your enjoyment? They offer new levels or new enemies. I'm not aware of any games that offer new enemies. To answer the first bit, Dale, no. Is there a is there a level? You know what I might do? I'm gonna give Fort Apocalypse a little play tonight and see. So no, I haven't. It's the same with Beachhead. Um, Beachhead's a game that I do like to play from time to time. I think it's a whilst each individual little section isn't particularly good, when you put them all, the sum of all is better than the individual sums, if that makes sense. So when I play Beachhead, I tend to play that on the easiest level, and I probably should play it in the more difficult ones. But I wasn't aware of Fort Apocalypse. You might well be right, but no, I definitely haven't. I've always played it on the default setting, whatever that might be. So yeah, I'll give that a go. What was this? And this was an ancient. That was a question from way back, way back. Right, here we go. Right, my friend Alan from the Computer Club. Film I'd want to live in. Yeah, that was a good question. Who was that? Milfy or was that Steve? I can't remember. Um, no, rather than Clint Thrust, I want to be called a Rocket Ball Pipeline. There we go. Right, film I'd want to be in Rear Window, best film ever, and From a More Innocent Time. Also, of course, I'd be sitting about doing nothing with Grace Kelly coming round every evening. You know what? I don't think I've actually seen Rear Window, and I know people will be going, "Oh my God, this guy, he's so lame. He doesn't know classic films." I'm not really a film person. Um, yeah, Games World has to be the world. Was it Game World? Oh yeah, yeah. I was asked what game world I'd like to live in. Game World has to be World of Warcraft. The sheer scale and open world would be breathtaking. But then would you want to be getting attacked by orcs and savages and dragons and all that kind of stuff? So you need to think about that. Agree with you. AI comments a great tool for producing mountains of shite, but I've recently been using it at work to help write computer code, and while it makes mistakes, it still lets you skip all the googling and write something in an afternoon that would have taken a week. I'm a bit of a convert after initial skepticism. Question. Let's have a look. Ooh, this is a biggie. Question for next week. Crazy controllers. Before, every controller was basically the exact same. We had a huge number of different attempts. I remember some mercury-filled joystick with no base, really, that you just tilted. Apparently great for Daley Thompson's Decathlon. I don't think I remember that one. Just shake it. There was a weird mini surfboard you put over the keyboard. Oh, I think I may remember that one for the Spectrum at one point. I actually bought a Microsoft Strategic Commander, which was a sort of mouse thing for your other hand with about a million configurable and instantly forgettable buttons on it. What were your worst and best controllers that you bought of all time? Um, right, I'm going to answer that one first because it's kind of a two-parter. I mean, my favorite controller is going to be from a sort of a classic. Hang on, my ears really itchy. From a classic point of view, it's getting really dark. I'll just open the windows a wee bit. Or there we go. That's like a bit more light in. Um, yeah, from a classic 8-bit, it would have to be back in the day. I don't really use it now because it doesn't work. It would have to be the Wickle Boss. I can't be arsed getting it out. It was a big, huge, big base, big shaft there, and it had a button on top so you could just go click, 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 click. The thing about it was it had a lot of play in it. So to move it, if you imagine like that, to move it, you had to go, "Ooh," and then that was like left, right was like right. So there's a lot of play. It probably wasn't the best controller, but I loved it. I thought it was great. Um, yeah, I mean, for modern, where is it? For modern games now, and in fact, I've not even got that. It's in that cupboard. Doesn't matter. Is it the zip stick or something? But yeah, I think the Wickle Boss was my favourite joystick back in the day on like computers. My favourite controller now, I think I've never used I've never used a PlayStation 5. A lot of people say the PlayStation 5 controller is the best one. I've never used one. I've never even so much as. I tell a lie. The only time I had a shot at PlayStation 5 was when I was at Dell's house. Was it last year? I think it was. But I can't remember much about it. People do say it's the best controller. I do like. I'm torn between. I mean, this I still think is a great controller. The old 360 wired controller. It's got a nice feel. Yeah, it's solid. It's doesn't have as much, as the modern controllers. Um, the Series X, the Microsoft Series X controller is really nice. As is, I think, the PlayStation 4. To be honest, I think they're very, very similar. Um, Another great controller which I loved was the Wavebird, which was excuse me, it was the wireless Nintendo GameCube. Yeah, Nintendo GameCube controller. But I think probably this one. I think I'm going to go for this for like the best all-round controller. It's solid. It does what you need it to do. Yeah, so that was part one of Alan's question. Just trying to see. What was your worst? Oh, the worst controller. Right. Oh, sorry. Worst controller. Bloody hell. The worst controller would have to be. It's a toss-up between. Oh, it's a three-way toss-up. It would be between the BBC Model B. It's this horrible little. It looks more like a remote control, and it's got a little, tiny little bit of wire with a little black knob, and it's analog, and you go like that. You have to hold it with two fingers. You move it, but it's analog, and it stays where it is. So if you move it to the left and take your hand off it, it stays where it is. You've got to like move it about. That was a horrible thing. It'd be fine for like maybe driving games like Revs or something, but as an arcade controller, try playing like Jetpack on it. It's awful. Um, it's a toss-up between the ColecoVision, which is yeah, the ColecoVision's horrible. It looks like a TV remote from like the 70s or the 80s, and it's got this little knob and a big rubber button thing. It's horrible. But I think even worse than that, well, it's going to be a toss-up between that one and the Atari 7800. Again, very, very similar. You hold it with your left hand, and it's got this horrible knob that moves about, but you've got to use that part to squeeze the fire button. I mean, going like that for a fire button just doesn't work. It's horrible. Yeah, they're probably my three worst controllers. And actually, and this is a bit of a contentious one. One controller for a modern system, which I thought, I mean, it did work. It did what they wanted it to do. It was functionable, um, but I didn't like it. It felt cheap. It felt really cheaply made, which is unusual when I tell you what one it is. It's the original Nintendo 64 controller. It just felt really, really cheap. I didn't like the layout, the little analog nub. Nah, I hated it, and I wasn't a fan of the N64 if I'm being honest. Yep, so that was the best and worst. Have we reached the pinnacle of controller design, with most system controllers being pretty much the exact same for the last generation? Was all that motion controller, PS Move, Microsoft Kinect, Wii Motion stuff a dead end, or are we just waiting for the 3D full body controllers we were promising Total Recall to finally appear? I think you're right, Alan. I think we've tried so many different controllers, and we've kind of pretty much settled. It's a bit like somebody coming up with a car, but not making wheels round, making them triangle or something. They've been around for such a long time. They've pretty much settled on the standard. They're all the same. They've got the two analog knobs, the buttons, shoulder pads. Yeah, I think we've reached the end. Right, Steve is asking a question. Now, these are going back. Well, this is the 20th of June. Um, Number one, I know you're not a fan of complex games with thick instruction manuals, but which one complex game with a thick instruction manual would you like to fully understand and play? Um, what game would I like to be able to play? I'm going to well, I'm going to answer it, but right now I'm going to say none because I'm not interested in playing. I've got too many other things I want to do in my life at the moment than sit and play a game. Um, I think I don't know. I think like Zelda, the Breath of the Wild, or is it Tears of the Kingdom or something? There's so much to it. I think I'd maybe like to be good at that. Like I said, I'm not really wanting to play any of these games. But when I see people like Lakoza playing, what do you call it? Elite. I can't even remember what it's called. What is it called again? The new Elite. Elite Dangerous, is it? I'm saying new, it's been out for about 20 odd years, but yeah, when I see how much pleasure and value for money he's got out of one game, he really like nails his games. He plays them and plays them and plays them and plays them and plays them, and he gets so much value for money. And seeing somebody that's so good at a game It's nice to see. It's not what I want to do, but yeah, yeah, I would say probably like Zelda, something like that. Number two, which Spectrum game would you like on the Commodore 64? And which Commodore 64 game would you like to see in the Spectrum? Yeah, sorry, Paul. I noticed that. Paul, I'm guessing are you Scottish by any chance? It's sad to hear of Glenn Michael. He passed away now. I don't think anyone in England would know who he was. It was a kind of bizarre. It's a bizarre setup actually when you think about it. It used to come on every Sunday, and it was called Glenn Michael's Cavalcade. And what it was is, I mean, Glenn Michael back in the 70s, he was probably in his 30s. He was a grown man, and he used to have a dog. And all he did was he would present cartoons, and that was all he used to do. He'd say, "Right, coming up now, we're going to watch Daffy Duck," and he would talk about it. It sounds utterly bizarre because we now live in a world where we've got Netflix, we've got Paramount, we've got what else? Anything, Amazon Prime. We've got all these different, we've got anime channels, we've got kids channels. But back in the 70s, we had to wait specifically for cartoons to come on. So anyway, yeah, he was the presenter, and he passed away last week or this week actually. I think he was in his 90s. Um, I'm just waiting for something to come out like Operation U-Tree that he was a paedophile or something. I hope to God he wasn't because he always came across as a really really nice person. There was no the bizarre thing was there was nobody else ever on it that I'm aware of. It was just him and his dog called Rusty, and he also it was the 70s, folks. He also had this paraffin lamp, and was it just called paraffin? I think it was, and it used to talk. Utterly bizarre. But yeah, it was a great when you were a kid in the 70s growing up. It was definite TV, and then usually you would watch Happy Days after it. Yeah. Anyway, Steve's asking which Spectrum game would you like on the C64, and which C64 game would you like to see in the Spectrum? I mean, my favourite Spectrum game's Manic Miner. It's on the Spectrum, but I would only want to play it on the Spectrum. I'm trying to think. Is there one particular game? I mean, one of my favourite games on the Spectrum, and I've got a video. You know what? I recorded a video. My top, I think it's 11 again. My top 11 Spectrum games, and I've filmed it. I've got it all recorded. I've just got the voice to put over it. I've had it sitting on my computer for I don't know 2 months. Just never got round to actually doing it. I would probably go for Formula One by CRL. That was a kind of football manager game, but it's set around Formula One. Great game. It would be nice to just see what the Commodore 64 could do to it. I mean, it wasn't about graphics; it was just about playability. And well, Dell's saying Jetman. Was that the one? Yeah, that was the sequel to Jetpack. I would like to have seen a good Jetpack because the one that came out, I think it got an official release. Um, it wasn't great. No, it wasn't great at all. So yeah, maybe a good Jetpack. Yeah, in fact, I'll maybe go for that. A really good Jetpack. That would be nice. And what game on the common? I mean, there's no game I'd say, oh, I'd want to see it on the Spectrum, um, because a good game on the Commodore 64 would probably not work on the Spectrum and vice versa. So for me to say Drop Zone on the Spectrum, I would be interested to see it, but it doesn't mean that it would be a particularly good game. Um, nah, I can't really think. Well, uh, I'll go for that. I'll go for Drop Zone just to see. I would have said Uridium, but I think Uridium did come out in the Spectrum. But yeah, like I says, the Spectrum and Commodore 64 had their strengths and their weaknesses. The C64's weakness was obviously the lack of speed. It's and some people would say, or as to quote Oasis, as some might say, the colours, the palette wasn't great. Too many browns, which is a lot of bollocks. But anyway, um, obviously the pluses, the music, the keyboard, sprites, hardware scrolling, the list goes on and on and on and on. And the best game ever on a Commodore 64, like, I mean, I don't like the game, but technically, like Uridium, it pisses all over the Spectrum version. But like I says, the Spectrum has got its strengths and weaknesses. But I would go for a drop zone. I'd be interested to see what it looked like. So thank you, Steve. Let's have a quick little look. Right, there's no question there. Country Roadist did ask me 2 weeks ago, are you taking questions for next week? Uh, I didn't actually answer, so I'll answer it now. Yep, yes. I'll just scroll down on a couple of screens. I think we've also, I think we've almost got to the end of the questions. Now, Doug Scullery did ask me one a while back, and I can't remember if I actually got it. If I remember rightly, it was quite a big long question. Right, okay, listen, I don't want to do it. I don't want to keep this going too much. So, anyway, why did I ask Steve? Why did I tell Steve that he wants to watch this? Um, there's a game that he's been talking about on Discord, a game that he used to play back in the day, and it's not available in MAME. It was an arcade game. It's not available in MAME, and apparently there's only one like cabinet in existence, and the guy that owns it is refusing to allow the MAME guys to like upload the ROBs to make it playable. And Steve has said he would give his right arm to get to play this game. I'm sure if Steve's still watching, hopefully he is, he'll know what game we're talking about. Because there's a certain young gentleman that watches my channel. He's a good mate of mine. He always comes along to the things. A certain Mr. Nick Sherman, aka Arlosoft. Now Nick is an absolute whiz when it comes to writing games. He's written some fantastic. I don't think he's written a bad game. He's written some amazing arcade conversions for the Commodore 64. He did a perfect Berserk in about 2 weeks. You might be right, Steve. Yep. And he last year, I think it was, we did a 12-hour live stream and raised some money for charity. Well, we raised £3 grand actually for charity, and Nick programmed quite simply an uh, indistinguishable Burger Time. I mean, it looks different because it's slightly different layout, but just absolutely phenomenal. So anyway, yeah, I've kind of I've sung Nick's praises too much tonight. He's also a good lad as well, but he's just amazing when it comes to doing stuff. But anyway, he got in touch with me earlier on this week and said that he'd written this and would I play it in a stream. Now, I've never played the game in my life, so I do apologise. I'll let Nick tell Steve if it's available to download and all this bollocks, but right. Oh, I'll tell you what, here's... No, sorry, just before... Sorry, Steve. So just before you dash off and download the game for yourself, Craig Flanagan, I don't think he's watching tonight, he asked me a question and I wanted to answer it, and I think it's a really, really nice question. I'll try and not drag on too much. He asked me, well, Alan, this week is 20 years of YouTube. How do you think it's affected your life? I'll try and keep it short. Yeah, YouTube started in 2005. For the first, I reckon, probably 10 years. Well, what would it be? 2005. First 8 years of YouTube, it was just another website to me. I didn't know much about it. I would go on and I don't know. I can't say. I can't. I can't say that. What do you call it? I can't say that I even really went to the site. I mean, I knew. Did I know it existed? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I started up a YouTube channel in 2013. It's now 2025. I've been doing it for 12 years, which is a long, long time. It's There's been a lot of, I was going to say lots of ups and downs. There's been 85% has been positive, 15% not so much. It's given me an interest. It's got me through a lot of tough times. I've made some great mates who, even if I decide tomorrow I'm going to stop doing YouTube, um, I think we will all still be mates. Um, Steve's hyperventilating. Yeah, you can play it once. I know he's saying, hurry up with this pishy question. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, it's I've made some good mates, proper mates. Everybody that's watching this tonight, you're all my mates. We've had great times. We've what was I going to say? I've just got a question popping up from Country Roadist. Yeah, so many good friends. It's allowed me to flex my. I'm going to sound a bit arty farty. It's allowed me to flex my. Oh, what's the word for it? My creative kind of thing. God, it's getting dark, isn't it? Well, I put the light on. Right, hang on two ticks. There we go. Yeah, it's given me an outlet. It's artistic endeavour, yeah. It's given me an outlet to make things. Yeah, that outlet has curtailed a wee bit. Um, and I tend to kind of most of the stuff that I do now is like live streams, playing games and live streams. Now, live streams are fun to do. They are fun to do. It's a bit like, I don't know, I was going to say eating a bit of fast food. It's fun, it's quick, it's easy, but I don't get the I don't get the overall satisfaction. I get the satisfaction. It's like when I do one of these, it's like talking to your mates in the pub. Although I'm the only one doing the talking, just having people knowing that you're watching this, seeing the comments. It's like being in the pub with your mates, but you don't get the satisfaction out of editing a video, recording stuff, putting it together. So that's something that I'm going to say I need to change. But the thing is, in the last wee while, I've got involved in other things. And in fact, yeah, one of the things that I'm kind of getting involved in is there's making short films, and there's a few people that I've met are getting involved in other things, and they say I might get involved in it as well. And I'll just give you a laugh. I go along to this short film making group, and my niece goes with me. Eva goes along, and my niece goes with me. And she messaged me yesterday to say that the guy that takes the course, he used to be in a kids program on the CBBC, probably about, I don't know, 20 years ago, and she used to have a huge crush on the guy. So this guy that she thought that she fancied, off the TV, he's the main guy. He's kind of helping us write a script and all that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, I was talking to a few guys, and I said I've got a YouTube channel, and I remembered the gadgets today. I did two gadgets today, film little shorts. Now, if you've not seen them, um, I actually think they're quite funny. It's like a parody of the early, very very early computer programs that you used to get in BBC Two and all that. Things like Micro Live. I was kind of dressed up as a kind of boffin. My dad bought this baseball cap that had like grey hair. So I'm in this. I'm pretending that I'm some kind of boffin, and I was watching them. I actually sent them to a couple of guys, and I sent them to a couple of the guys that are kind of quite creative, and I was watching them today, and I quite like them. I think they're pretty good. I love what I did with the intro. If you've not seen them, have a watch of them. They're pretty short, but they're quite funny. The second one, I really went over the top with trying to make it look like an old kind of Betamax. In fact, you know what? I'm going to let you see it. I know you guys have probably seen it, but you know what? Fuck it. It's my channel. No, I'll tell you what. No, wait a minute. Well, no, you can. Well, in fact, I'll put a link to it. I'm not. That's not fair because Steve wants to see this game. Let me just. Yeah, Brian might make a comeback now that I'm glad you actually remember it. Let me just let's just watch the intro. Steve, we will watch this intro and 2 minutes of it, and then we shall play some Dracula Hunter. Let me just find it because I was watching it today. I'm going to let you see. I'm going to let you see the second one because whilst the first one I think is funnier, the second one I really went over the top with. I really went over the top with the effects. So let me see. PC screen. All right, let's make that full screen. Let me just. Yeah, we'll not watch the full thing. Games Assist. Right. So this was a thing called Gadgets today. I only did two of them. I play the part. You know what? Actually, the funniest thing about this, I think, is the names that I came up with at the very end. So we'll watch 2 minutes of it. We'll fast forward to the end credits, but I have a look at them. I think they're quite funny. I remember at the time thinking they're absolutely shit, but you know what? They're a bit of fun. So yeah, this is Gadgets today.
Prime Day is here. 4 days of big deals.
Now the static was intentional, but I think I overdid it. It just makes you want to watch Micro Live though.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Gadgets Today. Today I'm going to be taking a look at some cutting edge gaming consoles. So if you've ever played a driving game, a shooting game, and you want to experience the excitement in your own home, then stick with me and you'll not be disappointed. And the first game we're going to take a look at, this little console. It's made by a company called Game, and the actual game itself is called Game, but having looked at it in a bit more detail, it appears to be a tennis game. So let's try and get this thing working. So let's see, you've got Game A and you've got Game B. So let's see if we can get this thing going. Start. Right, we appear to be moving. So yes, looking at the bottom, I'm controlling this player down below. Now it looks like the guy at the top's actually cheating. I mean, he's hitting more than one tennis ball at any one time. Or is it one of these tennis serving machines? I'm not too sure. Now, randomly at the bottom there, you'll see a little cup appears.
Right.
I'm not
Anyway,
quite sure
I'm
what that
gonna
is.
cut to the
Yeah,
very
as
very
you can
end.
see, I'm not very good.
Uh,
Sound is minimal.
you can go and watch it. Yeah, I look at all the cutting edge technology. I like the end sequence with the credits.
One can't wait to see what they think of next. Okay then, that's another episode of Gadgets Today in the can. I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and if you want to experience the thrills and spills of driving and tennis, then you really need to start getting these pennies saved up. Trust me, there's nothing more exciting than these. So, yep, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and we'll see you again. Bye bye for now.
I love the names. Montague Parker Braithwaite, Reginald Percy Threepwood, Crawford Brown Templestone Bowles, Monty Stipton Thistlethwaite.
No refueling needed. Lightweight and easy to operate.
Love it, love it, love it. Right. Anyway, right. Let's put Steve out of his misery now. He's going to want me to have to hurry up and finish this because obviously he's then going to get to play it. So let's have a little look. I've downloaded it. Where have I put it? Oh, hang on. Is it here? Yeah, this is it here. Now you can actually play this in a browser. Why have I made that full screen? Yeah, you can play it in a browser. So let's start at Dracula Hunter. You've got to do info and then run anyway. Now what I'll need to oh, there we go, it is loading, I think. Now I don't know how he's managed to do it, but that just looks so much like a MAME emulation. That is awesome. Let me just get the sound. Like I said, I've not played it before. Well, I played it for like 30 seconds. Let me tell you what, let me get rid of this. So let's give it a go. Wait a minute, I did. Alright, you need to click in the window. Right. Now, I can't comment, Steve. I can't comment how accurate this is, but it screams early late 70s. Bloody hell. So it kind of fires. Oh, bollocks. But I can imagine you know what? I wouldn't expect anything less from Nick because what he does is just ridiculously. Right, I'm wondering. Wait a minute. I wonder if maybe the keys might be a better option. Let me just. Right, I'm going to try it with keys. Right, what is fire? Let me just. Right, let me get. Nick, are you around? What is the fire button, Squire? Do you know what? Z. Right, thank you. Or G. I'll go for G actually. Right, here we go. That's what I'm saying. This guy is just insane. You ask him to write a game and he'll just go away and write it. Right, got you. You've got to. It's kind of, I was going to say similar to Jeff Minter's Grid Runner. You've got the little thing at the top that moves along. Right, I'm guessing you can't. I'm guessing you can't kill the little, is it the little girls with knives or something? Well, as soon as I stop playing, Steve, you will be able to play it. But Nick was adamant that nobody could play it until we had looked at one screen. I mean, you've absolutely nailed it, Nick. You've got the TV screen, you've got the scan lines. Oof. How cool is that? I bet Steve's wishing you could buy this cassette. It's actually a really good game. Like I've never played it before. Oh, bollocks. I'll just have another 10 games, Steve, then you can play it. Oh, how did that? Oh, bollocks. What Nick told me was he just quite literally wrote this from watching videos. That the guy, apparently there's only one machine like this available, and the guy's been a complete dick. I mean, you know what? Why would you not let people? Why would you not let people play it? This doesn't make any sense. You have to save the girls and the vampires. The vampires bite them, they change colour. Ah, right, okay. Right, got you. So the little oh, bollocks. Right, I'll have 2 more games, and then I'll put Steve out his misery. Oof. Oh, bollocks. Ah, the princess, right, got you. Right, I'm with you. Oh, right, I've got you, right, he's trying to break. Right, got you. Right, I'll have one more go, and then we'll let Steve play it. This is actually a really good game. I was going to say it's got a feel. Is this running on like Zookeeper hardware or something possibly? I love the simplicity of it though. Artifacts, yeah. Yeah, I noticed the little girls. There are little artifacts. Damn it. Bloody hell. This is bloody awesome though. I just love the fact that it didn't exist, so Nick just goes, I'll just write my own then. Right, listen, I'm going to let Steve go and grab the game. So listen, thanks very much to Nick for letting me be the first person to play that. That is bloody brilliant. It just confirms what I say about Nick and his programming talent. So listen, folks, I'm going to let you get going. It's still daylight here. It's getting dark now. I hope you have a really nice weekend, and all going well, I should be along on Sunday for. I think we've still got one part of the ocean thing to do. So we'll hopefully get that put to bed. So until next time, folks, you have a absolutely wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Sunday.